Hey guys, Sandra Younger here. Thanks for joining today's episode of JTV Extra. Today we are going to be making these really cute bolo cord bracelets, and I'm also going to teach you how to make those leather loops in the back. Before we get started, I always like to introduce, welcome anyone new to this show. And the way it works is you can ask questions and leave comments down below, and also you can shop at the same time. So let me just make sure that everything's working here because it looks like something's wrong. Just 1 second, guys, because I don't see this thing working. 1 second, because I have a little monitor here. Oh, there's something wrong. Hang on. 1 second. I don't know. Hang on a second. Let me get my tech support because it looks like there's something wrong with the output. 1 second. Hey guys, I have a question because I have a monitor here and it's the wrong orientation. So I just want to know how you guys are seeing it because I'm just a little concerned about that. So if you could let me know. I'm just a little concerned about that. Okay, you know what? It looks fine now. That was really strange. Anyway, back to the show. So let me. Okay, what happened was like I was looking at it on my. I have another computer running, and it was like the like cell phone orientation. So I just wanted to make sure. Okay, thank you, Laura Lee. Okay, good. Oh, every time I come on here, I'm like, what is going to go wrong? So at least nothing like crazy happened. Oh, okay, so let me see. Should we do the, did I miss something? Oh, yes. Okay, let me get back on track. Let me talk about Brilliant Cash. Okay, so Brilliant Cash is really great because if you're a first-time purchase, like the first time you purchase something on JTV, you will get a credit of $40. And if you buy, you could buy like the bolo cord today, and then you'll get a $40 credit, and you can use it towards a Knotty-Do-It-All, like on your next purchase. So that means you can get $40 off. And on your birthday, you get $20. The anniversary of your first purchase, you get $20. And there is a Sparkle Ambassador Refer a Friend program. And what that is you get $25, your friend gets $25. And also 1% back on all purchases. And if you have a preferred card, you get 2% back. And if you're returning a customer after 365 days, you get $30. So let me show you the products that are on today's show. These bracelets ended up really cute because, I stared at this stuff for a long time and, I'm always like, what am I going to make? And then it just, like in 1 second, and they actually turned out really cute. So, but let me show you what today's products are. So, and then we'll get to our customer slideshow. So my favorite part. All right, we have a bunch of goodies today, but my favorite one is the Knotty-Do-It-All. And if you are not familiar with the Knotty-Do-It-All, it's this fantastic cord knotting and design tool. And you get hardware. And the interesting thing about the hardware is that you can reconfigure it in as many ways as you want. And the large board, let me show you. Whoops. It has like the wells, it's got the inches in centimeter rulers. You get the bead and ring size chart. The little one has those as well. I think the main difference is, of course, this one's a lot bigger, so you get a lot more real estate. So that way you can make just a lot more things at like one time. But it does come with an instructional DVD and an ebook, but everything is available online as well. So this is like the configurations that you see here. But let me just show you real quick, a really cool necklace that you can make. This is just one technique of many. Well, here is a cute, simple necklace, and I'll show you real quick how easy it is. So this is a coil knot. Those are just coil knots. So I take my leather, I offset it, and the length of leather will depend on, of course, how many beads you want in between. But what I do is I start off with a moose knot, and then, as you'll see, I'm going to turn it into a coil knot. And what I do is I do this so that way that specific knot is centered. Watch this. I'm going to take that one end and I'm going to pull it right out. Now I've got my first knot right in the middle. And on either, it doesn't matter which side you string on your pearl, and then you just wrap the cord around one of the pegs, and you take your peg out and put the leather right through. So see how the board just like stabilizes everything? It's just really, really nice. So you just kind of pull and twist. And this is one of the lessons I have under Knotty Lessons. So you just pull and twist. And then you just, you tie on as many pearls as you want. And then you're wondering like, well, how do you finish the ends? Well, I'm going to show you. So I'm going to finish this one with a pearl. So you put your pearl on. So it's going to be like my button. So you slip that on, and then you measure the distance, like half the distance or length you want your necklace to be. I mean, that's going to be variable. So let's see here. I'm going to pick 6.5. So I'm going to fold at 6.5, and then I'm going to clip this in, and then I'm going to attach it using the moose knot. So here I am. It's like that very first knot I made, but this time it's going to be used to finish the ends. So look how neat this is. So you make your moose knot, feed it through, tighten, pull, and then you slide it up. And I'm not putting glue in this little demonstration, but you put your choice of glue, whether it's like GS Hypo Cement or, that's what I prefer, GS Hypo Cement. And then you do the other side, you measure your 6.5, you fold, and then this time you will be making the moose knot, except this one doesn't have a pearl in it. It's just going to be just a plain moose knot. You feed your leather through, tighten, and then you have to adjust it for the size of your pearl, and then you put your glue in there, and then you trim the ends, all your ends, and then here you have it, your beautiful, beautiful necklace. Isn't that fantastic? So yeah, that's everything that you get with the Knotty-Do-It-All. Okay, let's see what else we have. Okay, let's see, first on our list. Okay, the board was first on our list. Now we're going to go to these large hole double spacers. I think that's what we got next. Let's check it out. Okay, so these when I first got them, and I've worked with them before, but for some reason, I was always like really intimidated by them. But I kind of jumped ahead of myself, like with the next week's leather, and I made this bracelet. But look how cute these are. So these are the beads. I picked the ones with the florally pattern. So, and I think, oops, those are the boards. No, we don't want those. We want our show products. So these are the silver. And let's see, the next ones are the gold ones, which I used for the other bracelet. So, and the neat thing about these is, that big one on top there, I used it as a button. So that's what I used on the button, for a button on today's project. And these, both of these sets, you get 60 pieces in total. Let's see, and 3 different styles. So let's look back at the silver ones. You get 60 here, and then on the gold ones, you get 60 there. And let's see what we have next. Ooh, okay, this leather, you get a 1 spool of the bolo cord, and it's like a metallic grade. Let me just grab this real quick, and I'll show you. This is what it looks like. This is the gray metallic bolo cord. Really nice, very elegant. And plus I like it. I like the way it smells. I just love the way leather smells. And let's see this one. Okay, the bolo cord is 3 millimeters. And then the other two spools, you get iris blue and turquoise, and they are 1.5 millimeters each. So, and let's see let me see how long you know what? I don't have that information. I think you get 10 yards in each spool. Okay, let's see what we have next. Ooh, these clasps. I wanted to make something with these clasps, guys, but I had to pick a project. So but they're really nice. The one in the middle, I fell in love with it, and maybe one of these days I'll do like something with the clasps, because I've got some really like cool and interesting things that you can do with them. Just aside from just using them the traditional way, but these are really these are nice clasps. And let's see, you get 3 designs, and you get 36 sets. So there you have your clasps. And then the last item, and I came up with a way to make these work, because I always had a hard time, getting these kind of crimp findings like on the leather, but I tried something and it worked really, really well. So I'm going to try it today during the show to see if I can get it to work again. But this is it says here 27 pieces, approximately 3 millimeter raw brass, and they are about 10 millimeters in length. And they're not like gigantic. I mean, they look big here on the screen, but they're really nice. They're small, really nice size. But so let's see, that is everything on today's show. But if you don't have a Knotty-Do-It-All, then you definitely need to get one, because these are fantastic tools. And if you're looking for like anything to do with your kids over the summer, I mean, making jewelry with them it's really fun, and it's a great thing to, just pass the time with. All right. Well, okay. I'm going to cut myself off there. Making jewelry, I mean, it's kind of, you guys know that it can become an addiction. So that is, if you decide to like get your kids into it and they get addicted, don't blame me. Anyway, I noticed we've got some like some faves in the house. We got, guys, Tess Barr. Look, man, you need to Google her, man. That woman can sing. So I want to say a big hi to Tess. And one of these days, I'm going to show up at your place. She has a vineyard, so I'm going to go. We're all going to go. We should all go to Tess's place. We got Susanna, Pat, Chatty, Laura Lee. And you guys, some of your comments are just like making me laugh. And I can't laugh right now, because when I really get laughing, I can't breathe. And if I can't breathe, I can't do the show. But I'm just not going to read those comments. I'm just going to look at names. We got Gina, Kathleen, Linda, Sarah, Adair, mi amiga. Even though we've never met in person, we're just like really good friends. We have Judy, Joan, Debbie, Helen. And let's see, we got Prince in the house. And I just want to let you guys know that I appreciate you watching. It really means the world to me. And I always look forward to just like the conversation that goes on in the I don't know, I guess they call it the dialogue. We've got a Michael. He's been accused of being a loiter or a lurker. Yeah, that's right, Michael. You need to send something in. We're going to put the pressure on you. You need to submit something for next week's customer slideshow. You keep talking about how great the board is. Well, we want to see what you can do with it. Which brings us to today's customer slideshow. We had 2 people submit. And guys, I'm not getting on your case, say send your stuff in, but I do understand that it's like that time of year, graduations, parties. I mean, there's that big shift in, the time. I completely get it. But what really cracked me up was Laura Lee. She sent me an email of her daughter modeling her bracelets that she made. And what killed me is she said that she had her daughter model them at her I believe it was college orientation, because our beautiful model is going off to college and soon we won't have her beautiful arm. So it just made me like chuckle that, yeah, I mean, even at an orientation, it's like, stop, we got to get these bracelets on so you can model them for me. So that really, I thought it was really like a cute little story. So let's show you what we have on today's customer slideshow. First, we have Debbie from California. And I love those little flower dangles on the end. And I think this one is macrame. And it looks like, if I am correct, it looks like Chinese knotting cord. And those beads, even though some of them are like transparent, I think they're white hearts. I think that's the name of them. So that's really colorful, very cute, cute bracelet. Looks like something that I would wear on Cinco de Mayo. Very like colorful and cheerful. Then next we have Laura Lee from Florida. Okay, this the bracelet in the middle is the one that I'm concentrating on. I think, okay, first of all, that cross must be like really big, because I've seen crosses like that. And I think they're so cool the way they're like drilled all the way through. And I'll show you another one that she did here. Okay, this is the bracelet by itself. Look how cool that is. And you know, Laura Lee was telling me that her daughter is going off to college, and so our beautiful model is leaving us, guys. So I'm so sad, but this is I'm so sad. But look, it's a beautiful bracelet and she's such a terrific model. And let's see. Oh, and here is this is the kind of sort of the same style, but just a different color. So, you know, this one's got like the black with silver beads macrame on the side, and that really cool cross. And let's see what we have. Ooh, Debbie from California. Now this one this one's cool. It's the earrings, the bracelet, and the necklace. I don't think I've ever done a complete set. So that good for you, because I don't know why. You know what? I'm going to do that one day, because I know someone at a show one time asked me for the complete set, but I was just like without words. But look, it can be done. And this one is, I think it's crocheted. And Debbie, is this, I couldn't tell what kind of stringing material it is. So if you're on the show, can you just like drop a note, because I'm very curious. It looks like a cotton cord, or maybe like I just don't know. So let me know. And next, Laura Lee from Florida. Okay, so this bracelet, I think there's two of them. Look how cool this is. It's got those black onyx beads on the side. But I'm going to show you something in a second, if I can like get to it. Let's see. Okay, here's the blue one with the pearls, and it's got the onyx beads. But okay, this is what I really like. This is a really cool touch, because it's made with, and I think I'm correct, Laura Lee, right? It's made with two different cords. So one type of cord was attached to the bend in the bracelet, and then the onyx beads were added on. That is something that I will get into one day, but I haven't yet. But that is really, really cool. That's totally something I would do. That is just like taking it to the next level. Very nice. And next, another one from Debbie in California. And I noticed there are kitty cats in that necklace. So I'm going to assume that you have a cat. But in the pendant, I love that pendant. It reminds me of the Arizona like desert. Very beautiful. And this one is knotted, and it's, of course, it's got the really cool matching earrings. And I like the spacing. I like the detail of like where the cats are, and then you've got the cats in the little earrings. Really, really nice. And then last, another one from Debbie in California. And this one is the double, this one is crocheted, I'm thinking. Or is it braided? Let me see if I can guess right. I'm going to say crocheted. So tell me if I'm right, because I like to look at them and try to guess what the technique is. And sometimes the braiding and the crochet look really, really similar. And once again, I'm very curious. I think it's yarn, but Debbie, let me know if this is yarn. I'm not sure, but it looks really cute. And the one thing, yarn is really good, especially if you don't like using leather or any kind of like other materials that might irritate your skin. because I've made like custom pieces for customers using cotton yarn. Really interesting. Anyway, that concludes our customer show for today. And remember, guys, if you have anything you'd like to send in, I'd love to get it, put it on the show. Email me at the Knotty-Do-It-All at gmail.com. All right, back to me. That is, okay, Debbie, you said, I think I saw something here that says it's carpet warp. As soon as I read that, I started like looking at my carpet, like, can I like unravel it? Pretty soon there'll be no rug left in my house. Carpet warp. Okay, I need to look that up because I have absolutely no idea what that is. Is it like recycled or is that actually a thing? I don't know, but I'm going to look it up because I'm very, very curious now. Because I don't know how many of you are guilty of this now that you have your Knotty-Do-It-All and you know like what to do with like stuff. Every time I get like a bag, like a gift bag, and it's got like an interesting like handle that's not made out of paper, or it's like some kind of cord, the first thing I think is, oh, I can make a bracelet out of that. I could just put some beads on there, crisscross it over, and then put a macrame slide knot. So it seems like I've been like hoarding a lot more stuff over the years than I normally would. But now I'm like looking at my carpet thinking, oh, maybe I can like unravel it and make something with it. Oh my God. Okay, let me see. I found in my mother-in-law's stuff after she passed away. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up, carpet warp. Anyway, we're gonna get started with today's project, and it's actually really simple, but I do have a couple of cool tips. The first one I'm gonna show you is this one. And I mean, you look at it and you're just like, yeah, that's pretty straightforward. Okay, but see, that is like the, okay, I know that you guys are probably wondering like, wow, you grew nails, and yeah, and I don't know how, it just happened. You know, all my life, you know, I've never had nails, and suddenly, you know, they started growing. So I'm relishing in the this thing. But when I made this, you know, I feel more like a lobster now because I feel like they kind of get in the way. But when I made this bracelet, you know, I had a really hard time like getting it on and off. And I thought, and I'm sure if I didn't have the nails, it would be a lot easier. So I'll tell you what I did to like make it easy on, easy off. And I'll just give you the tips and tricks on how to do this. Super straightforward, super easy. So the I'll just use this cord. And I think I used 16 inches. So I'm just going to measure out 16 inches. Cut this. And there's probably for this one, I have 2 really good tips. Okay, so let's move this aside. So let's get the button on. So I used this larger bead with these ginormous holes. And then I slid that one on first. So that goes all the way to the end, just like this. And at this point, just kind of try to line them up. I mean, that you can adjust that later. And then I'm going to put 5 of these guys on. I mean, super straightforward. And when I said these bracelets take no time to make, I mean it. Okay, so let's get that one on. You know, it's really funny. Sometimes, you know, when I do some of these projects, I feel like that you guys are going to say, oh my gosh, that's so easy. Like, please spare us. But I had lunch with a friend yesterday that, you know, does not make jewelry. And I showed her the bracelet and I said, hey, can you make this? And she looked at it and she's like, are you kidding me? I have absolutely no idea how that would be done. So I just thought, okay, well, at least that made me feel better because I thought maybe we'll have like some of you guys that will not think that this was just way too easy. But I know that you seasoned pros out there, you'll know. Okay, so this I'm going to clip right here. I'm just going to squish it down a bit. And I'm going to take this guy here and I'm going to hold it. So right in here, we are going to make a very tight, and you don't want to use, if you have the wax jewelry cord in the 0.9, you could either split it or use the 0.5. I'm just going to use the 0.5 because that way I don't have to split it. It's just already done for me. So the trick here is, I mean, you have to do this really, really, really tight. So I'm going to do like a really tight macrame binding knot right in here. So I'm going to come in. And when I say like tight, I mean like, whoa, was that focused? As tight as you can go. Just like really, you'll see, I mean, this leather, you'll see that it looks like it's like really has a lot of pressure. And see my hands, they're like death grip tight here. So that's a top, and then you're going to do a bottom. And then just make sure that they're stacked. Because if you see like space in between, you just want to make sure that all that space is covered. So let's go 3, 4, 5. Just see, oh, this is another good way to tell. Okay, I don't know if you saw that. I'm gonna, you know what, I'm gonna lower this a bit because this is kind of important. I'm gonna come in closer. Okay, let's see if I can do this. Uh-oh. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's as close as I can get it, guys. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Okay, see how the wax, like you could see it squish out? And if, let's see, what side did, okay, now I need to do a bottom. And that's a good, like, what, I don't know what the word is, indication that you're doing it nice and tight when you can actually see some of that wax squish out. So you just come in and just really, really tight. And, you know, I lost count, but probably like maybe 1/4 of an inch of, you know, knotting here. But one thing that you really, really need to do is you'll need to come back around. Let's see if we can get this in here. You need to flip it over, and let's get this. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Then you need to come back and macrame back over these guys. Because remember, this side has to be like really, really, really nice and tight. Because you don't want it to come apart. And that's, you know, mostly because it's on like a pretty raw end of the leather. What I like to do is I don't like to go past, I think that would be the last one. I kind of make sure that the last one that I do is still like right over. I don't go, you know what I'm saying? I don't go past that black line in there. And then I just hold it, like pull it really, really tight. I'm going to come in here. And then with the thread melter, just come in here and tap it. And then on the other side, you do the same thing. Okay, now I'm going to show you the tip that I came up with. Okay, so when I made this one, the loop, it was kind of hard to get the button through. So what I did the next time around is, you can see here, see that? What I did was, before I put this knot in here, I kind of pulled this side out a little bit. And I kid you not, things miraculously have a way of working out. I mean, and let me tell you, one thing that's really important, and it's happened to me so many times, if you're designing something and you're going and you think, oh, this looks horrible, and then you quit, don't quit. Keep going, because you will be surprised at what can happen. And I was really surprised at this, because the first thing I thought was, well, when I do this, oh yeah, that's fine and dandy. This is going to work here, but then this is going to be like, it's going to be like one side's going to be longer than the other. But no, it didn't, because I could easily come back here, scoot everything down, and then equalize these chords out. Does that make sense? I mean, it just happened to work out. So I'm going to pull this one out just a little bit, just like that. And what I do is I find that spot where that button fits through. And once you made one, just take note. I think, okay, and that way you could repeat the steps like over and over. So I'm gonna like I'm gonna do it right there. So I'm gonna come in here, I'm gonna clip those right there, hold it, and clip. And now I'm going to make the other binding knot. And this, the second one, you don't have to like double it. I mean, go over twice, and I'll tell you why in a minute. Okay, because see this end here, it's not what I would call a raw end, because it's, I don't know how to explain it. The side that the macrame ends on, that is the raw end, and that is the weaker end. So, but this one is like, I'm starting it. Do you guys, I'm without words. You guys, do you know what I'm talking about? It doesn't have any cut ends on that side. So you'll be safe just making a single macrame binding knot without having to go over twice. But I do like to make it a little bit on the longer side just to give it like grip. Okay, let me just go here, and I think that's good. And then with the thread burner, and it's really important that when you're making these macrame binding knots, and one thing, because I've learned over the years, that you want to use a thin cord, and I'll show you why in a minute. This is just going, let me grab something thick just so you can see the difference. Okay, so let's say you have like faux leather. See, when there are less points of contact when the cord is thicker. So it's not going to, see that? You get those gaps in there, and it's not going to grip as well. But so the thinner the cord is when you're making the macrame binding knots, the better it's going to hold. So I just want to let you guys know that. So just in case you make something and you're wondering, like, what did I do wrong? Okay, so now I can come back and adjust this leather inside. Let's say if it was crooked because I did this little loop thing. So now it makes it easier to put on and off because I've got that extra opening there. Oh, I was so bummed out when I first made this because I thought, I really like the bracelet, but I was having trouble getting it on and off. And I've kind of sort of jumped ahead of myself because this bolo cord is from next week's show. But when I made these, the first bracelet, I thought, okay, I don't care. I'm going to make the pink and the gold. This one kind of reminds me of like winter. This one is like, kind of summery. And I just thought, you know what? They look so great, like just stacked. I can't wait till after the show because I'm just going to go to the store and stand around and wait for someone to admire my bracelets. Okay. Look how cool that, oh my God, look at that. I love it. Wasn't that easy? Oh, can you show us your other bracelets if we have time? Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, do you glue the button? No, Gina. No, that's the beauty of this bracelet. It's so easy. And once the thing is that, yeah, the button moves, but once you like put it through the loop, it stays. Look at that. Isn't that like fantastic? Oh, this is like a dream bracelet because it's so fast and easy. I mean, and after you finish it, it actually looks really nice. I really like it. And you don't need a lot of like hardware and stuff like that. So I like these. Now I'm starting to think like, okay, I need to up my game. Can I find like some kind of like bead, a double hole bead with a bail, so I could put like a thing on it? Yeah, yeah, I know. Thank you, Shelly. Okay, so I'm going to take these off because I want to talk about the next thing that is important that it is the tale of 3 bracelets and other tales. So, I know that over the, the years, literally, I have talked about, oh, guys, save your leather scraps because you can make these loops. And everyone's like, okay, well, why do I want to make one of these leather loops? Okay, so I am going to show you. I think, where did it go? Well, I think I lost it. Let me see if I have it here. Well, you know what? I'm just going to show you how to make it. And I'm going to show you how to attach it. I saved, I've got so much stuff here. It's probably like right in front of my face and I just can't see it. Because let me show you. Like this is like, see these? I have like 6 of these. These are all my bracelets. I have like tons and tons of bracelets. So look at that. So can I find one with a leather loop? No. Yeah, this is like, I think it's out of control. That's like, I tell you that making bracelets, if you have like a daughter that's like 11 and, she's at that age, and then, or if you even have a son or a grandson, I mean, macrame kids, let me tell you something. They remember the things that they remember from when they were young. And you guys that are here, you let me know. Paper mache. We always remember our paper mache projects. And when we learned a macrame, I mean, it is incredible. Those are the 2 things. So if you want to like develop or like create like a really awesome memory, then teach your kids how to do just basic macrame bracelets. Okay, so for these leather loops, what I like to use them for, do I have it on? You know what? I don't know. I don't know what happened to it, but I'm going to show you how to make it. Okay, so what you do is you take 9 inches of leather. So right there, and I am using 1.5 millimeters of leather. Okay. So I'm going to offset it by 4 inches. So that means I am going to make one side 4 inches longer than the other. So it's going to be like this. And then, oh, you know what? Am I saying that? Yes, yes, yes. I thought maybe I was saying something wrong, but that is correct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come around here and I'm going to wrap 1 time. So there's 1 wrap. So a 1 wrap will give you a 2 looped knot. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to tighten. Because I don't know, I just like the 2 loop knots. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to tighten and I'm going to scoot it down a bit. And you can make these just to have like on hand when you need them. And let me show you the next step. Okay, let me zoom in. Because I've had customers, they said, I can't get this. They don't lay right after I do the knot. You know, they crisscross, they just get all messed up. So the trick is, and it always works for me. So let me see. Okay, so I clip that in there. Oh, first I determine like what size my button is going to be. So I don't know. Let's just say it's that big. So you clip it right where the button size that you want. And I don't recommend, let me see, maybe 15 millimeters max, because this particular button loop isn't one that slides. So it works well with like a smaller button. So just keep that in mind, because you don't want to use like a 25 millimeter button, because then you're going to have to make the loop really, really big. And then it's going to be like, if you know, it's just that gigantic button loop. So what I do in this case Normally, when I do like a moose knot, I'll wrap around this way. But for this one, I'm going to use a pencil and I'm going to go the other way around because, see, I can see what I'm doing. And the reason I use a pencil is because you're putting 2 loops of leather. And I see how I bend it. I can completely see what I'm doing. I'm going to hold this right here. And then the bottom one's going to go in first, just like that. And then the top one's going to go in next. I'm going to put that in there. And then you just want to make sure they're lined up, and then you pull. And what I have found when if the leather is coated like this, because coated leather is real slippery. So what you do is you put some GS Hypo Cement. I'm not going to do it because feel like battling with the Hypo Cement today. But you just put some right in there, and then you just tighten it, and it makes it very attractive. It just gives it that real nice look. And this is really good to use with suede lace. If you guys have ever tried to make like an overhand knot with like deer suede lace, it's really difficult. But if you use this method where you're basically it's kind of, remember in, I don't know, elementary school, you'd fold paper over. So it's kind of sort of the same thing, because this is more, it's got a rectangular profile as opposed to just plain old round, if that makes any sense. That's how come it looks like this. The only, and I just make them whenever I have a bunch of like scraps left over. So I my big drawer of them, I just throw it in the pile. So next time, if I need one, I have it handy. But one problem I ran into once was, I was working on a braided project, which, in the deal with that specific project was this. Because when you do a braided project, you just get your 3 strands, put them all the way through, and the cord was going to be doubled. So basically it was going to be, let me get this out of the way. So let me just do a quick demo of what I was doing. So I got my 3 strands of cord. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, one of these days I would really like to work with some like suede lace, because it's so pretty. So you take your 3 strands, you kind of bundle them, and then you feed it through just like this. Okay, let's just say we're going to do this. Okay, so here's like your 3 strands, and then I clip it, and then I just like when you start the braiding process, it really, let me see, is this not focusing? Woo, woo, woo. I just grab any 3, just group them and go to town. Just start, boom, boom, start braiding. And then you can, when you finish this end, you can add your button. But I'm just like, what I'm doing right now is not this whole project. I'm just showing you how you would attach like a braided like end to, something like this. However, if the only time you will actually like make the leather loop, okay, let me tell you what happened. I was working with some beads where I actually had to string them on with a leader needle, because does everyone know? You guys know about my leader needles, right? If you don't, I will reintroduce them. It is is this like so like zoomed in? Okay, if you've never heard of these, this is fishing line. It's you could use a 4-pound, a 6-pound, but it's got like these beading needles on here, and I use them to get like beads on cord. Because why is this? Woo woo. Oh, well, hang on. Because sometimes if you put a needle on there, because, you could buy beading needles, and sometimes when you put the needle on, that is a problem. But if you put fishing line, this becomes very, very like thin, and it is the best. Love it. But when you're making the leather loop, you are going to have to do your braided project a little bit differently, in that you will have to feed the those cords in when you make your first knot. I just want to let you know that, so in case you make a leather loop and you're like, girl, how did you get your leader needle business on there? So what I do is I just I feed this into just like all of them at one time, and then I just proceed with the let's get that in there. I mean, all this makes sense, right? I just, just in case you guys didn't think of it, I mean, I just, because there are times when I've been doing, something for a long time, and then it just, like, out of the blue, I just, like, oh, I can't believe I could have been doing this the whole time, and it would have, like, completely solved my problem. And then you just tighten that. And I'll show this one more time, in case you guys missed it, how to get that fold in there. Because the thing is, and the important thing is, you're going to be flipping away from you for this. Okay, remember, you're going to flip that way, because I would say 100% of the time when I make my moose knots, the leather goes this way, but this is the only technique, where I use a pencil and then I flip it away from me, just to get that nice, like, bend in there, and then you could hold it and you could see exactly where your leather's going and like everything else. So there's one, and then you just make sure that one stays on the top, and then you just, this is fantastic. I mean, because for a long time, I really struggled with getting these loops just right. And now, look at that. Easy peasy. And the that's like I'm always telling you guys, don't throw away your scraps of leather. All you need for this is 9 inches. 9 inches will, and then plus it leaves you a little bit of leverage in case you need to make the make this a little bit longer. So if you have a scrap of cord that's 9 inches long, don't throw it out. Because I used to throw away all my scraps, and I was just like, no. Okay, so let's see. Oh, the other thing, this is really interesting. I don't have any 3mm leather, but these, I had some that were the 2mm size. Guys, this is crazy. I don't know how I never thought of this years ago, and I'm glad I didn't, because if I didn't think of what I'm going to show you, I probably would not have invented this. And because the problem that I had was with these kind of end caps, I would buy my leather, I'd buy the right size end cap, and some sections of the leather were like bigger than other sections. I mean, these will fit just fine because, but I'm going to tell you what the trick is. So if you have your leather and it's supposed to fit, but it just takes a little bit for it not to fit. What I did was I just put it like on a flat surface, and I just rolled it. I mean, like, you need a surface with traction. Just, I don't know, maybe if you put like, oh yeah, put like wax or something sticky, and if you just like roll it like a tortilla, and just, you have to really squish it down. I mean, I think I'll work on coming up with the plan, because I need to get something like, let me try some, let's experiment here. I'm gonna use some, let's try beeswax. Okay, paraffin I think is too slippery, so I'm gonna put beeswax on my finger. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's perfect. So what you want to do is just roll it and just keep, like, you squish it down, like, just like death like grip pinching between your fingers and just keep rolling it. And believe it or not, it shrinks it down long enough just to get it right into the end cap. So if you have trouble with your end caps not fitting when it's supposed to, then that is the trick. But like I said, these, for some reason, I guess I wasn't paying attention to the size. I mean, to the size of the hole during the show. And I thought that they would, maybe, you know what, let's, oh my goodness, wineries, tortilla. Oh my God. We should do it. We should all like do like a retreat in Oregon. Wouldn't that be fun? Okay, so maybe two, you know what? I don't know. I'm going to try this because I've always been really curious. But the thing is, I've never wanted to like ruin the end cap just in case. But can you get two of these in here? Yeah, I guess you can. All right, well, okay. Let's, God, let's do the deed. Let's squish it and like say a prayer. Let's do this. Okay, let me get some, I guess round nose pliers. I know that I think it came with instructions, but you just squish it here and then I'm going to squish the other side. Okay. Huh. Okay. Good. Okay, well, there you go. Oh, that's really interesting. So you can use this leather, which is, let me look at my cheat sheet. Oh, it doesn't say. But I think it's a 1.5 millimeter and with the 3 millimeter jump rings. So that kind of sort of makes sense because 1.5 plus 1.5 is 3. But one thing is, if you have a 3 millimeter cord and then the hole is 3 millimeter, it's not going to fit because it does have to be a little bit smaller. So if you do my tortilla rolling technique, then it will work. And if you get something that sticks out like that, and you're just like, ooh, let's see. I think these nail clippers, guys, these are, don't buy this brand. Just buy like the the cheapest ones you can find, because the only reason I use these is because I ruined them because I dropped them, and you know, it's just, they made it to, there you have it. Oh, now I'm thinking, earrings. Okay, this is going to be another project for another day because this is that's cool. Okay, 8 minutes. Okay, somebody who asked me about, someone said, hey, what about your bracelets? Who asked that? And I'll tell you. Some interesting stuff here. Oh, yeah, right, Susanna? The clippers? Okay, so what did I do here? Okay, so these bracelets, this is made with silk. This one is really, it was actually quite simple. So I took, you know, that stuff with the built-in needle, and maybe I'll do a lesson on this, or maybe I'll put one on my website. I don't know. But see that little thing right there? That bead? The only thing I mean, I liked the bead and it worked, but there were a couple of problems that was kind of like annoying. First of all, when I bought them, they were bronze, and I thought, oh, that's cool. And after a while, the paint kind of started coming off, so it started turning clear, you know, and I just thought I should have just bought clear ones to begin with, so that way I wouldn't have matched the color of the bead to the design. We've all been there, right? You know that happens. So you could see that it's starting to lose its color. So that was kind of like weird, but regardless, so I came in, took it all the way to the end. You know what? I should just do a lesson on this. All right. But and then that's my slider that I used for the, to like open and close it. And the neat thing that I like about this is that they're side by side, so the cord isn't like rubbing on itself. The only other problem I had with these is that, I got them in a tube of like, I don't know, 100 or so, and not every one of them worked. Some of the holes were too big, some of them were too small. So it was like, it worked and I liked it, but it was not reliable, like in terms of like buying the whole tube. And it wasn't fun having to like fish through all these beads just to find the one that worked. Yeah. Yeah, double silicone slider, right, Gina? Yeah. I know. Prince. Yeah, it's the worst when they turn clear. In this one, I did the same thing. And, I just liked it because, I was experimenting, playing around. And I just thought, you know what? These are cute. They make it's a cute little stacker. And let's see. This one here. This is, I made this one. It was, I don't know. If you go back and look at the show archives on my website, I have links there. This is one that I made. It's like the macrame spiral. And for those of you that you know how to macrame, but all you do is you keep doing the same, like don't go top, bottom. You just keep going like top, 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 or bottom, 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 bottom. It just, and then I just put like little, accents. Okay, next. This one, I made this. I do a lot of silversmithing, and I like really simple little, I just love getting stones and just like setting them and just making like really cute little, because, the stone is, you guys, if you do any kind of like work like this, you know what I mean? Because sometimes the stone is so pretty that I just don't like a whole lot of, anything to distract from the beauty of the stone. So this one is like, this kind is one of my favorites. I'm looking at all the bracelets that I have over there, and I swear I could talk for a month about all the different bracelets that I have. And then this one's really interesting. Let's see, how much time do I have left? I have 4 minutes. One of these days, I will do a, this one's really, really old. And this is one of my, I don't know the word, what I like about cotton cord. It ages really, really well and very, very interesting. You can see like, the slight fading on the knots. And this one I probably made like 12 years ago, and I wear it. This is one of the few that I don't get wet, and I try to make sure, but it is a multi-strand. And the interesting thing about this, and I've never done a lesson on this, but I will someday. I got all my cord, and I literally, I put this thing on, and then when I did the multi-strand, I worked from the middle, came back around with this, and then I did the finishing knots. So can you see it? Can you see, like, if you guys have been making this kind of stuff for a long time, you can see the like what I did here. And these beads, they're so hard to find. They're called they're African white hearts, and the reason they're called white hearts is because, and one of the bracelet that Debbie made at the beginning of the show, I noticed that it was a white heart because it's got they're like a ceramic type bead. It's got like a white ceramic base, and then the glaze that they put on the outside gives this really beautiful. And this color, guys, I don't know what it is, but it is, you could go to like every bead show on the planet, and that color, that specific color, red, is extremely hard to find. And I don't know if it has something to do with the dyes that they use, that they can't get them anymore. Who knows? Maybe it's toxic, and I'm killing myself and I don't even know it. But in the detail that I put on this one reminds me of Laura Lee. Look at that, same heart, I believe. Is that the same heart, Laura Lee, that you have? This is 12 years old. I've had this for a long time. So see, we think the same. So God, see, I swear I feel so connected to you guys because we got the white hearts that Debbie used, the hearts that Laura Lee used, and I know that a lot of you like working with organic materials. And I think this one I put like a sterling silver like charm. Anyway, we have a few minutes left. Have you guys seen the price of sterling silver? It is just like skyrocketed. So start making macrame slide knots instead of using like sterling silver clasp, because it'll save you a lot of money. Plus, it'll make your the pieces that you make more like adjustable. Anyway, we are running low on time. We have 8 seconds left. And I want to thank you guys for joining today's show. And I will see you next week. Bye.